wonderful people. I have a quick get ready with me from the day that I did my Sephora VIB haul video, and I started off with the Ambient Lighting bronzer and the Makeup Forever 158 brush. Just applied this anywhere that you would apply a natural bronzer, back of the cheeks, temples, forehead, across the bridge of the nose. This is a very sheer but very, very pigmented bronzer, and this was the first time that I had applied it and was actually quite surprised at how it turned out. I've been really loving it ever since, and I do apply it a little bit more lightly now that I've gotten used to it. And I really love that 158 brush. I've used it in lots of videos before. I've talked about it quite a bit, and there happens to be an open giveaway for that brush currently on this channel. The details were in my last video, so I'll link that down below. If you're interested, go enter that giveaway. Such a great brush. Using the other end, the more narrow end of that brush, I'm just going to apply a highlighter to the tops of the cheekbones. I'm using the Ambient Lighting palette, the center shade, the Incandescent Light. It's a really pretty highlight. And now the Viseart Neutral Matte Palette. Makeup Forever 242 blending brush in a neutral cream shade, just using that as a blending color from the lid up to the brow bone. It's pretty close to my own natural skin tone, and it works really well to blend other colors on top of. With the same brush, I'm just picking up some of that camel color and applying it to the crease and just above up towards the brow bone. That'll act as the transition shade. That brush really does blend colors out really nice and softly. I'm starting to warm up to it just a little bit more. I didn't like it so much when I first got it just because it is so large, but it does work really well for that purpose. I'm taking the Makeup Forever medium shader brush, and I'm applying that sort of brick dust red-orange color all over the mobile lid. It is incredibly soft and so pigmented. You guys can't see here, but I'm barely touching it. I'm barely touching the brush into the product and getting so much pigmentation out of it. I'm just taking that same blending brush I've been using and running it over the crease just to blend out any harsh lines between the transition and that lid color. And then taking a smudger brush, and I'm applying a little bit of a neutral gray shadow to the outer V, so just the outer half of the lash line and up into the crease a little bit, just to create the appearance of sort of a shadow to add some depth to the outer corner and help define the shape of the eye a little bit more. And then again, just blending it out with that same 242 brush just to make sure that there's still no harsh lines and everything mixes together really well. The same smudger brush, I'm now applying a cooler, deeper brown to the outer half of the lash line. And then with the smudger brush, I'm just applying that same color, a little bit of it to the lower lash line, just to help define it a little bit. And I'm using the lightest shade in the palette as a brow bone highlight. It's kind of an off-white, very, very light cream shade, so it's not too stark, but it brightens things up really nicely. I'm also going to apply a little bit of that to the inner corner, and then I'm just going to pat a tiny bit into the center of the lid, just very sheerly over that brick shade, just to add a little bit more dimension to the lid. And felt like that lash line, lower lash line needed a little bit more apparently, so I'm going in with that orange red shade and putting that more towards the inner corner and blending it in to the deeper brown shade on the outer corner. Now with the fine liner brush, I'm applying the Clinique Black Honey Cream Liner. Very, very thin line of this just at the very base of the lashes. That brush is so thin, I really like it. It applies so smoothly and it really keeps the color concentrated. Now the dual-ended eyebrow brush, I'm just smoothing things out with the spoolie end. It's a really nice big spoolie, so it would work also really well for getting clumps out of mascara. Then I'm taking the angled end and I'm just applying a cool tone brown to my brows just to help fill them in and define them a little bit more. That brush head is quite stiff and it's very, very small. So it would also be really good for brow pomade. You could get a really nice defined line with that. I think it would work really well. I think it's a little bit too stiff to use as an angled liner brush. It would be a little bit painful, I think. And then just using that spoolie again to run through that color and applying a bit of a tinted brow gel just to hold everything in place. And then of course we're gonna finish things off by curling the lashes and applying some mascara. And then I'll just give you a quick peek of the finished look as well as a very brief outline of my thoughts on these three products. Links for them will be listed in the description bar down below if you want them, and that neutral matte palette is back in stock on Sephora's website, who knows for how long. Thanks so much for watching and take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!